Hi guys, I am Katie and I am hosting this Bookbusters live show. The book that we are decided to read for the month is Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. And unfortunately, no one else could join me tonight, so I am just going to be running this by myself. Please be patient with me, and it would help me a lot if you guys could ask a lot of questions in the comments. So first, I'm going to quickly tweet out the link. Decided to read for the month is something. Sorry guys, please be patient with me. I'm just making sure that everyone can get the link before I start talking about the book. Okay, so I actually really enjoyed Something Strange and Deadly. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I really liked the story. I am a really big fan of historical fiction, so I usually end up liking a lot of books that have that kind of genre. I really enjoyed the setting of Philadelphia. I have been to Philadelphia many times, so that setting was something I really enjoyed. I thought that the author did a really good job kind of describing it because, as I said, I have been to many of the historical places that were talked about in the book. So I think that kind of really helped to enhance my enjoyment of it. I also really enjoyed the zombie aspect of the book. I don't really read a lot of books regarding zombies, so I thought that was really interesting, and I thought it was really well done. It wasn't too sciencey, and it didn't seem too fake either. I feel like in some books, authors really try and overdo it on the science aspect, kind of the aspect of why the strange things that are happening, and it gets a little too overdone. At first, I wasn't really a huge fan of Eleanor, but I feel like you weren't really supposed to like her at first. I know I've talked to a couple of the other Bookbusters members who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, and they kind of had the same opinions on it that I did regarding the main character. And I think that at first you're not really supposed to like her, but I feel like as the book goes on, she really does kind of go through a journey. At first, she's kind of just the privileged girl who kind of has to hide her status. And then as the book goes on, she really becomes kind of a more real person. She learns what's really important in her life. And in regards to other characters, I really did like the love interest, Daniel. I thought he was not your typical love interest, and I really liked that because I feel like in YA you often get the kind of two extremes for the love interest. You get the strong, silent, brooding type, or you get the really obnoxious guy or the really shy guy, and I felt like Daniel was a good mix. I loved how he was really smart and scientific and how he was willing to help Eleanor. So now I'm going to check if you guys can please ask me any questions. That would be fantastic. Okay, so Sexy Like a Cow said, I'm in love with Daniel, but that ending broke my heart. I will have to agree. As I said, I really liked Daniel, but the ending was kind of sad. Although I am really interested to see what happens in the next book, because I believe in the second book they go to Paris, unless they go to Egypt, because I can't remember where they go in each of the books. And I'm really excited to continue with the series, just because I think it's a really interesting idea. And again, I don't read a lot of other zombie books. The only really popular like zombie-ish book right now would probably be The Fifth Wave, and that one has to do more with aliens. So that is a little interesting. So as I keep saying, I really like this book, and the reason I'm really interested to read more is because I actually went to a signing that Susan Dennard was at back in September, I believe. You guys can go check that out on my channel. It's titled Sarah J. Moss Signing Blog. And Susan Dennard is just an awesome person, and she was really nice. And I loved kind of listening to her talk about the series. I loved how she kind of said that a popular question that many authors get asked is, oh, did you kind of write the main character about yourself or something like that? And she said no. She actually said out of the characters in her book, she was most like Daniel. And I just really love the way she kind of described her series. And she's actually coming out with another book in this year called Truth Witch, and it's a fantasy series. So I am very excited to read that, and I will definitely pick up the series. Let me know if you guys are what you guys thought of Something Strange and Deadly, or if you have anything that you would like me to discuss about it, because I would definitely be willing to do that. Okay, Sexy Like a Cow also says, they go to Paris, just finished the second one, and Daniel doesn't kill Eleanor until the end. I wanted to choke him. Yes, I feel like Daniel would kind of be the type of guy that would be very slow. But personally, I'm a really big fan of the whole slow burn romance thing. For me, that's one of my favorite types of romance in YA. I feel like so many books just kind of have that insta love, or it's kind of in the course of the book that the characters fall in love. But I feel that it's so much more interesting if it kind of drags out over a couple of books, even though that does kind of make you want to pull your hair out. And it can get a little bit angsty at times. I feel like just the reward in the end is so satisfying. And then when the characters actually do get together, you feel like they really know each other and they kind of deserve to be together and to have a nice romance. Okay, so again, if you guys want to ask me any questions, you can. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the book. You can ask me anything about books, reading, book recommendations, that kind of stuff. I feel so bad just because I know that all the other members feel so sorry that they couldn't be here tonight. I know I'm probably doing an awful job with this, but I've never done a live show before, and it's been a while since I've read this book too. I read this book probably about a year ago for a readathon, so I don't remember a lot of the specifics about the book. I remember that I really liked it, and I remember that I liked kind of the different genre aspects of the book, but that's about it. And I feel so bad about this, but as of right now, I'll probably have the live show, I say, going until about 8 or 8:30, and I will announce the book that we are reading next month. In case you guys didn't know, Bookbusters operates on kind of a genre calendar, and this month's genre was historical fiction. Next month, the month of January, is going to be contemporary, and we are going to be reading an excited new contemporary book that I will announce to you guys at the end of the live show, and that's definitely going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to read the book that we have picked for the next month. Okay, so again, I think I talked about this earlier, but one of the things I really liked about the book was the historical fiction genre. And part of the reason I like historical fiction so much is I think it really, even more than a history textbook, kind of gives you a feeling of what was going on back in the time. It's not kind of just telling you people lived like this is what was going on. You really get to be inside the head of someone that experienced what was going on. You get kind of a more personal feel of history and the events that were going on during this time. And I think that that's something amazing. Hi guys, back again. I am so sorry about that. I have very awful Wi-Fi right now, and I think that kind of shorted out on me. Thank you so much, by the way, to the people that are here. I know that the Booksplosion live show is going on right now, and I know that so many people are probably watching that. So all of us here at Bookbusters really appreciate you guys that come out and watch these every time. We love every time that we get a comment on the group or someone wants to talk about something. We really appreciate all of you guys that watch these live shows. But again, in case you're just joining in or coming back, my name is Katie. I'm a member of Bookbusters. You probably know who I am since you're on my channel. If not, hello. And the book we are talking about is Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. Unfortunately, the other members of Bookbusters could not be here tonight, but I am here doing my best to talk about the book. It's been a while since I've read it. I'm doing my best. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, then just leave me a comment or a question on the YouTube page. It can be about the book. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be something about the book, something about books in general, about me, my YouTube, my reading taste, anything like that. I would be happy to answer, and I will continue to apologize for how awful this probably is, because I've never done one of these by myself before. Okay, so I have decided that I'm going to end this live show a little bit early at 8 tonight. Again, this has just not been the best live show, but if you guys stick around until 8 o'clock, I will announce the book that is next on our list. This book is going to be a new contemporary, and it's something that all of us here at Bookbusters are really excited about reading. So hopefully you guys will be excited to read this book too. I know that December was a reader's pick month, but we are back into the swing of promoting books that we feel like should really get some more attention and aren't very talked about. One of the goals here at Bookbusters is to read books that aren't necessarily maybe as popular. I know some other read-along groups kind of just pick what they feel like the most people would want to read, and while we do care about what you guys want to read, that's why we have a lot of these months where you guys can pick. We also want to promote some authors that aren't as well known, because I feel like here on BookTube, once a book gets popular, everyone talks about it, and I feel like a lot of times a lot of people end up just kind of talking about the same books over and over again. And while that's good and you get to hear about what books are good, I think it would be great if we kind of read some different books that don't receive as much publicity, because it's often books that no one knows about, and then one person discovers and says, man, this is so good, you have to read this. That's often how books get really popular. Like, I know with the book The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, I never heard of that book before, but once people really started talking about it, it became famous really fast. Same with Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Once Reagan over at Peruse Project started talking about that book, it caught wildfire, and now I think everyone starts talking about that book. So yeah, as I was saying, sorry, I keep having to check for comments, but that is why we created Bookbusters. We wanted to create a book club where people could read. Again, I love that I joined this club. I think it's still such a great idea, and we want to promote some authors that aren't as well known. And now I'm going to kind of just talk about why I love Bookbusters so much. When I first was kind of introduced to the idea, I saw two of our moderators, Grace and Grace and Allison talking about filming, kind of making a book club about over on Twitter. I know our first book was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and they kind of wanted to read it, and they're like, hey, we should, get a group and read it together. And I saw that, and so did Maddie over at Two Book Teams. And we saw that, and we thought it was a really awesome idea to kind of just read the book and see how it would go from there. Sorry, talking to Grace. But yeah, we just kind of started it, and we didn't know where it would go from there. We did our first live show, which was about To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and we kind of kept going from there. And what I love so much about it is just you get to share reading with other people on BookTube, which is a great thing I've discovered. You get to kind of share your love of books with other people. But in a book club like this, you kind of get to But in a book club like this, you get to share your ideas with people that are reading the same book as you at the moment, and I think that's something great. And I think that's something that you don't really get a lot of places, especially like someone like me. In my real life, I guess you could say, I don't really know that many people that really enjoy reading. So finding BookTube and doing something like this has been really helpful for me. So as you guys were probably noticing, I have been talking to Grace, who is kind of the founder of Bookbusters, and because none of the other members could be here tonight and we really wanted to talk about this book with all of you guys, we have decided to move the live show until tomorrow night at the same time. I do realize that some of you guys have been here watching this, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much to everyone that showed up to this live show tonight. It means so much to me just that you guys decided to show up, even though I was the only one here. I apologize so much just for not being the best host. I've never done this before, and it's been a while since I've read the book. But I just wanted to personally thank every single one of you that watched this tonight, and be sure to watch this tomorrow night when we talk about it, because I feel like it's going to be a lot more fun when there's more people. Although doing this tonight has made me realize that I want to do a live show of my own sometime, just kind of doing maybe a Q&A or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. So thank you so much again to all of you that watched. Please come out and watch the official Something Strange and Deadly live show tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys again soon.